Welcome to Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from Central California with your hosts Jeffrey Gonzalez and Allen Thomas. Broadcasting video worldwide at ParanormalCentral.net and broadcasting audio on the Dark Matter Network at ArtBell.com. Are you ready to witness something that you cannot explain?
I'm looking for you. You're looking for me. We have to decide what it will be. Can it be true? Can I believe the unexplained? Look into the sky. You realize you're not alone. Open your eyes. You can find the trails that control.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from Central California. Hello, my name is Jeffrey Gonzalez. I am your host for the show. To my right, to your left, we have Allen Thomas, co-host.
Hello, everyone.
And womaning the board in front of us, and you can't see her, and you probably will never see her ever. Emerald Bonilla.
Ever.
Never, ever.
So we have a guest in the studio tonight, Jolene.
Hi, Jolene.
Hello.
Is author, has written a book. Actually, she's been out and about with us on a couple of occasions, and we're going to talk about that on Bigfooting and camping, and she likes ghost hunting, so we have a lot to talk about with Jolene tonight, so it's going to be fun. So hello everybody, thank you for showing up tonight wherever you may be, on the East Coast, on the West Coast, around the world. We are broadcasting at ParanormalCentral.net, and we're going to be showing some photographs and some videos tonight. And if you are listening at ArtBell.com on the Dark Matter Network, then you can go on the homepage and you can look at the photograph that we're going to be showing tonight as well. So either way, you can go ahead and take a look at what we're going to be talking about on either site, ArtBell.com or ParanormalCentral.net. And here we go. I think we got a full 2 hours tonight, that's for sure. So, all right, you guys ready to go? Here we go. All right. As you guys all know, before we start the program, we have somebody who's really into Bigfoot, and I mean, he's a big-time geek, as far as I know. Danny Valderrama, are you there? Danny?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, he's
Hi,
there.
Danny.
Just scaring you.
Hi, Danny.
Freak us out, huh?
Yeah, Danny, oh, where's it? Danny. So,
Hey,
Danny.
Alan, Jeffrey, hey, Jolene, hey, Emerald,
Hey, Danny.
and Robert, if he's there.
Yeah,
Yep, he's here.
So,
Hey, Robert.
you know what? We had to.
Robert's waving.
Robert's not going to be able to listen. I'll hook up Robert in a couple seconds. So, all right, Danny is going to be giving us the scoop on the Sasquatch report from this past week, from all over the world, actually. So, whatever he's got, we're going to go ahead and talk about it. Let's go ahead and pull up photograph number 1. Let me find it here. Hold on, there, Mr. Danny.
Danny gets around all over the world.
Yep, never stop.
Never
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah, getting
Alright.
away, he'll run you over if you get in his way.
Yes, we have proof of that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, we have a couple of
Look,
feet
a couple of big
walking.
feet.
What the heck is this all about? Go for it, Danny, on the Sasquatch report for August the 31st.
That's the last picture.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first picture.
That's the one where they're walking
First picture
away.
is Bigfoot Wars.
Oh, there you go.
Bigfoot.
All right, let me pull that up. Okay, got it.
All right. This is just to remind everybody that September 2nd, Bigfoot Wars is released on DVD. That they had a limited release in the beginning of August, and now it's coming out on DVD with Thomas Howell, Judd Nelson, and we did have the director Brian James on the show earlier this year.
Right. And we were supposed to have Thomas C. Howell on the air, and I don't know what happened. I actually sent him another email last week, and Brian James responded back and said, yes, he'll make it happen. And he hasn't made it happen yet, so I don't know what's going on there. So I don't know if he's filming another movie or he's, pretty much. I know he was on a series on Sci-Fi. See, Thomas Howell was. So he might be pretty busy right now, so I don't know what's going on. But yeah, Tuesday is the release date for Bigfoot Wars, and we were also
It'll be
promised.
everywhere.
Yeah, we were also promised a costume from the movie, so we can put it in our set. So I'm hoping that Brian James is still going to make that happen for us. So, all right, go for it.
All right, story number 2. This comes from, this is posted on August 26th on the Bigfoot Crossroads page and also the Bigfoot Evidence page. A new TV special coming out called Killing Bigfoot. And it's with Bobby Hamilton and Jim Lansdale. They've hunted together since the 1990s, and they're the founders of the Gulf Coast Bigfoot organization. And they promise a Bigfoot television special like no other. Their mission is to kill a Bigfoot. So people are starting to do that everywhere.
Well, if they kill one, the show will be over. Just like Finding Bigfoot, if they find one, the show would be over.
This doesn't say that it's a series. It just says that it's a 1-hour TV special.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it
Man, I
doesn't
hope
say
they
anything
don't-
about a series, but with everything that they're talking about doing, it's got to be a series. But the GCBRO has always maintained a pro-kill agenda, and that's been very well taken with the Bigfoot community. They've gone to Bigfoot conferences and gotten kicked out because of their stance on pro-kill.
Wow.
But the show will premiere on October 29th at 9 p.m., and it's on the Outdoor Life Network channel. That's in Canada. So I don't know if we'll be able to see it here. But it's with the one of the guys is an ex-pro wrestler.
Hope he's not telling me to go to the
One's
next
a
one.
Vietnam vet,
Hold on.
and they're a paramilitary team with assault rifles that are going into the woods. And they do claim to have Bigfoot DNA, since these guys have been hunting forever. They did see a Bigfoot. One of the guys saw a Bigfoot with his son. They saw it they were about a distance of 12 feet away, and it was standing next to a deer feeder, and it ran away on all fours. They did take a shot at it, and they collected a blood specimen from it, and they sent it to a geneticist who studied the DNA and determined that it was blood from an unknown animal and definitely not human. So they'll be searching in the northwest Louisiana swamps and in that area. So we have to wait and see if they do catch anything.
Now, anybody can say they have blood from, and somebody can say, yeah, we don't know where it's from. I mean, that's hearsay to me.
Yeah, but why would they be in Louisiana and it's going to play in Canada? That's not fair.
Well, that's where Lyle Blackburn, in that area somewhere, is where Lyle Blackburn is from, the Boggy Creek Swamp
Right.
Monster.
Yeah. Yeah, but I want to see the show too.
Well, didn't it
Go to
just
Canada.
didn't it just get moved to National Geographic or Discovery Channel?
I think the OLN network owns a bunch of other ones because they do have the Finding Bigfoot show on their page and all that stuff, so we should end up seeing it eventually.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know if it'll be on the 29th, but
Man, I wonder if it'll be on Roku, because I canceled cable.
I'm sure.
they claim that the creature is
Especially
a
if
nuisance
it's that
and a
big of a-
possible threat to innocent people. They say it's not like the one in the Pacific Northwest who seems gentle, but
Oh,
the
the
Gulf
nice
Coast
one,
Bigfoot is a
right.
ferocious killer.
The nice one that eats everybody, eats the kids.
Yeah. Well. Oh well. I mean, it's going to be one of those other shows. This reminds me right up there with what is that? Monster Man? What? No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Mountain
Monster
Monster.
Hunters.
No.
Yeah.
What are they called again?
Mountain Monsters?
Is it Mountain Monsters? Yeah, those
Mountain
guys,
Monsters.
all those old guys are running out in the swamp and thinking
Yeah.
they're looking at something, they're shooting at nothing, and that's what this
Somebody's
is going
eventually going to get shot.
to. That's what this is going to be, just like this. I mean, this is the same scenario. I mean, it's like, see,
They're all wearing ghillie suits, too. So.
you think someone's going to get shot? I say so. Look at something's moving. Oh, Grandpa! I'm sorry.
It is
Well,
human.
they'll all look like Bigfoot
No
if they
Christmas
put their hood
no
on,
Christmas
right?
present for you. Okay. All right. All right. Next is
Like Dick Cheney shooting everybody.
oh,
Oh, I saw that
Who said
picture. You think that's real?
I don't know. Yeah, good question. Go ahead, Danny.
The next story?
Yep.
All right, this is from the Bigfoot evidence page. It's posted on August 25th. This is a hunter that posted on his hunting forum. It's called hotspotoutdoors.com. And he's a man calling himself Boar, B-O-A-R. That's his handle name that he posts under. I think his real name's Jeff something. But this is a trail cam pic that he took on 8/24 the day before. It was at 1:44 p.m., 72 degrees outside. And the picture that he posted, it popped under. It said, "Yep, here it is, alive and well in the river bottom. Finally got a picture of him, and he's been cleaning out my site for years. I'm calling the BFRO or the BORF, whatever they call themselves." And that's all that it has on there. That somebody got a hold of it and sent it to the Bigfoot evidence page. And I did check that spot, and it is that website. It is actually on there, and with some comments on there. But the comments are just like, make sure you get it in one shot, or make sure it's a good shot. And there's nothing on it that says it's fake.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you if this is fake or not. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not.
We don't know how high off the ground the camera was.
Yeah.
We don't know what angle it's taken at. It looks like a head and shoulders, but it could be something on its side. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to
The
say.
hair kind of looks pretty groomed on there.
Yeah, that does.
It actually looks kind of cut where the head is.
Yeah, Sasquatch
No
cut
way
their
of
own hair.
knowing
Bigfoot
exactly
have a
what that
barber?
is, but it's an
Yeah.
interesting picture.
That's what I'm thinking. They have the little barber somewhere up there in the hills. I don't know. I mean, it's, I'm not going to say it's fake. I'm not going to say it's real because we don't have enough evidence or nothing to say either way. So,
Pretty cool.
But it's a cool shot.
He always stands to the side.
Yep. Yeah, never in the middle. All right. Okay, go to the next one.
Take a picture right.
Right. Okay, we have a
Next
couple
one.
of fishermen.
This next one is brought to my attention by Michael Shaw. He helped at the Bigfoot Discovery Museum in Felton,
Okay.
near Santa Cruz. He's since moved to Thailand, but he still posts, and he's got one of these cameras. It's a brand new, truly wearable HD camera, and they're sunglasses, with the camera right in the middle. And they're made by pivothead.com, and they record, capture, and share your life with a hands-free, distraction-free device. And it comes in, the next picture is one of the styles it comes in, where it's open-ended at the bottom. And they come in different colors, and you can get different tinted lenses. And the reason why these are open-ended at the bottom is because the lenses on them are interchangeable. So if you happen to have prescription glasses,
Ooh.
they have a way that you can order your prescription, so you can get the lenses and pop those in there.
Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah, and
So how do they work?
you just there's a button on the side.
Uh-huh.
You just press them, and they can take 8 megapixel images, or they can record in full 1080 HD. They have 8 gigs of memory on them, so you can record for 1 hour. But they also have an air sync, which is one of the next pictures. And I don't see any pictures up, actually.
What do you mean?
And with the air sync, you can record for up to 6 hours and extend the battery life for 4 hours. And you can change all the settings from this device and view all the media wirelessly. And then they also have another battery charger that you can charge 2 of the pivot head glasses and the air sync. You can recharge all those simultaneously. So you can just keep recording and never stop.
That's
These
cool.
are pretty cool. You just wear them around, and they have 77 degrees of view on there. So it's not too bad. And they come ready to play on NTSC, that's for the United States, or PAL for the UK. So you can use these anywhere. And when you're recording with the camera, it has a face tracking capability. So if somebody's walking by, it'll track them across there. It's pretty cool. So, Michael Shaw had the film. When you're recording, it'll buffer or something. It'll shake, and you can't see really. These are pretty clear. You can see the whole ride completely. They have a race car driver wearing them around the track. You can see everything pretty clearly. So these look pretty good, and they're selling for $199 right now.
Wow, that's pretty good, really.
Not too
199.
bad. And they have another one coming out. The last picture on there is another one coming out.
Okay, hold on. Something's going on here with
Hit the play button.
All right, let's do that right there.
You lost your feed.
Yeah, I rebooted again. Yeah, there's something came up with the shield on it. I think it's all right. I started up again, so everybody should be getting it right now.
So the last pair of glasses that they have is a new one coming out later this year, and it has the capability to record. Like if you wanted to do a live stream show with those glasses on, you'd be able to do that.
Oh.
Interesting.
And it has a Bluetooth on it too, so everything would be hands-free. And it doesn't have a price on those, though. They're coming out later this year.
Tell you, a lot of new toys will be coming out very soon,
Yeah.
probably within the
More
next
over
year.
time.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, we're gonna have stuff now. Everybody's gonna be broadcasting out of their homes, just like us. We're gonna be nobodies. All right, and now we got the feet.
Yeah.
All right.
This was brought to us by Elizabeth Martinez. She's always posting good stuff.
Yeah, she is.
And she found this on the Psychedelic Adventure page, and this one caught my attention because your guest tonight also has a younger son who doesn't like to wear shoes.
Yes.
True.
We'll talk about
But
him.
wait a minute. So this is about the benefits of staying grounded and connected to the earth. Modern society has lost touch with its roots, and today's people have little understanding of how the healing potential of the earth, the natural frequencies in living in close proximity to natural surroundings. Walking barefoot has been known to help to regenerate cells and delay aging. There's a documentary that they have out now called Grounded, and on this page there's also a little excerpt from the film where you can watch, and you can hear firsthand accounts of the residents of Haines, Alaska, who have been who've overcome chronic pain, sleep apnea, and all kinds of other different ailments by walking barefoot. They're saying that walking barefoot on the earth transfers electrons from the earth's surface into your body, and they spread throughout your tissue in a process called grounding. It's pretty weird. So
Wow.
grounding has been shown to relieve chronic pains, reduce inflammation, improve sleep, thin your blood, enhance well-being, and enhance your immune system.
Well,
So it's
I
got a lot of
noticed.
benefits.
Yeah, I've noticed. I've seen maps and drawings where the bottom of your feet, each part of your foot, the bottom symbolizes a part of your body. And
Yeah.
you know what? I think, didn't you send me something on that?
Yeah, the next one has the picture of that.
Do I have that?
But it never worked for me yet.
You know what? I
What?
don't-
Says,
14 years chronic pain over here, and I walk
In
around
ancient
barefoot
times.
all the time.
You know what? I don't have that
Ancient times.
photograph.
Yeah.
Maybe it would be
It's
worse.
on the art
Maybe the
page.
dirt was
on the,
different.
okay, it's on the Art Bell site, you guys. For some reason, I didn't get it. I missed that one.
I get it.
So, yeah. So, are they saying walking then, not necessarily like in your house barefoot, but outside on the dirt,
Outside.
right?
Yeah, they're saying throughout times, when we first started many, many, many years ago, everybody was walking in sand or dirt or wherever. This was before concrete was invented and hardwood floors and all that stuff.
Maybe
Right.
I could
Everybody
do
was
like
happy
all,
and
like,
Doing
maybe-
whatever they wanted. But now, since we're walking, wearing shoes, we're not connected to the ground anymore, and everybody's having problems.
Maybe you have to do it 24 hours a day. Like I only do it, walk around barefoot in the summer. Maybe that's the problem. I need to stay, in the
And maybe
winter
you
and
have to do it on
everything.
dirt,
Yeah.
not
Oh, I
your
do.
house.
Yeah. Yeah,
Assuming
that's all.
that
I
your
don't
house
even
has no
have
dirt.
grass anymore at my house. I let everything dry out. It's all dirt. I'm the new green.
Yeah,
brown.
well, that's because we can't afford to water the grass anymore.
Oh, I could, but I just don't want to.
Yeah.
I mean, why? They're charging me an arm and a leg, and we're running out of water anyways.
Right.
It's like a waste to make grass, really. At least I think it's a waste.
So Alan might be the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
They call it earthing or grounding, and they think it's one of the most important overlooked factors in public health because it improves a wide range of ailments, including chronic fatigue. And they claim that the changes are fast and can occur within 30 minutes walking on the ground. But they stop short of saying that it's a treatment or a cure for any of the disorders that you might have. Instead, they say that the earth, it's another way to just remain connected to the earth. But this graph that you don't have says that by walking barefoot every day, you can improve your energy levels, stress, hypertension, PMS, sleep apnea, rheumatoid arthritis, asthmatic and respiratory conditions. And there's a whole list of things that it can help. There was a Harvard professor, his name was Daniel Lieberman, who did his personal trainer and started running barefoot. And what his research showed was that barefoot runners tend to land on their forefoot and generally has less impact shock throughout their body. And runners who are wearing shoes land on their heels, so that usually causes shin splints or injuries or little bone fractures. And it's like kind of Gaia, and foot, or the root chakra. These are all kinds of things that are connected to this. The earth frequencies is what they're calling them, that can go through your body. And if that's really happening, then maybe some of the reports that we're getting about Bigfoot being a spiritual being and able to do many mystical things, maybe those are true because he's connected to the earth.
Maybe.
Pretty weird.
I'm
I was
seeing
thinking about
more people barefooted running in the races, in the half and the full marathons. You're seeing more and more people that aren't wearing shoes at all.
Wow.
Maybe they have more traction. You know, like your toes can like grab.
It's supposed to be, yeah. They say it's better. I mean, they feel like they get a better run.
I can't.
They lost like a half ounce. You know,
I have very high instep right here, and I have to wear those insoles because it's
Athletic.
because I used to have back problems, and I was going, what's going on here?
It was your wallet.
No, that
Have
too.
you seen that guy's wallet? Oh my god, it's like this big.
It's big. Has all my numbers from 5 years ago in it. No, I took that out and I cleaned it out. But no, when I was getting, my back was hurting a lot, and then I went to the Soul place here in Fresno, Soul place, and they fitted me. Yeah, they fitted me for, and I started wearing it in my work boots, and my back pain went away, and that was the end of that. And now I've been wearing it now for 8 years now. I've had to replace them once because they finally broke, but they gave them to me for free. But for 8 years now, and I have no more back pain because it's lining my spine up. It's allowing me to walk straight. That's yeah. I mean, it works. It actually works.
Your chakra is better.
Yeah. So.
I was thinking another thing too is that when a lot of babies are just learning to walk and all that stuff, they're not wearing shoes, and they're walking everywhere, around every place without shoes, so they're connected to the ground. And what's the one thing you hear about a lot of kids in their house? They see ghosts. And then later on in life, they stop seeing them. Maybe that's because when they start wearing shoes, they can't see them anymore.
We'll have to ask Jolene's son.
Can he see things?
Well, there have been incidences in his room, I have to say.
Really?
Yeah, you were there, remember?
Oh, yeah, well, he's definitely. I mean, we went because of you
That
guys
room.
were having. Yeah. Now let's talk about your son really quick while Danny's on the phone. I first met him when we went up to the Tule Reservation.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Your kid, whether it's freezing or hot, whether it's rocks outside or splinters or nails or tacks, he's barefoot.
And actually, what I'll say is if a snake bit him, the snake's fang would break on the soles of his feet because they're so tough now. But he's always been like that since, he's a baby. He does not want feet. And you touch him, and they're very hot. His feet are very hot. So we've always let him just go barefoot, he's happier that way. I see no point.
I mean, we went camping with them, right, to the Chile Reservation, and he did not wear shoes that whole weekend.
That's true.
And we were up in the mountains, you guys, and we went up to this waterfall, and he went barefoot. And I was tripping out on this guy. I mean,
he's never sick.
Huh?
He's never sick. I mean, there might be something to that because he's very healthy child. In fact, they make him wear shoes to school, and then he found out about, the Sikhs that have the swords, and so he was going to try to pitch that it was his religion that he not wear shoes and see if he could get away with not wearing shoes to school, because it really is the only time he doesn't wear shoes, that in church. Otherwise, he's barefooted. And there's been only one place that he's been literally kicked out of, because that no shoes, no shirts,
no service.
They don't enforce it generally.
So when you guys go out, like to go to a restaurant to go eat, do you go barefoot?
We will force him. It depending on if it's McDonald's, we really don't care. But yeah,
Right.
if we're going to a nice restaurant, we will force him. But it won't be something he'll think of on his own to do.
Seriously, guys, I'm this kid.
some
How old is he?
He's
in high
14.
He's 14.
He's in 8th grade.
He literally walks everywhere. I mean, he can probably, if it's 120 degrees outside, he'll still walk on the blacktop. It won't hurt
Doesn't feel it. No.
It doesn't feel it.
No.
No cuts, no nothing on the bottom of his feet.
Nope. They're you feel them.
Probably
I mean,
thick now.
it's not like
Tough.
they're calloused, but it's not like you would see. It's not ugly.
Right.
I don't know. It's just a really thick, leathery feel to it.
That's, yeah.
And they're really big. In fact, what his uncle called him a hobbit. We were there this
That's funny.
summer. They're just so big.
Wow. I mean,
It's hard to track Bigfoot when you see his footprints everywhere.
right. So yeah, when we have to find out where he's at all
I'm
times.
really
when we're-
thankful he's not listening to the show.
Nobody knows who he is. So, all right, Danny. What else, man?
All right,
Really quick
that's it.
That's it. All right, Danny. Thank you very much for the Squatch Report
right.
for August the 31st, and we shall see you next weekend.
All right, we'll see you guys.
All right, see ya.
Bye, Danny.
Bye, Danny.
All right. We have, before we start to talk to Jolene, I got a call a couple of days ago where somebody told me about this father and son who had a sighting last year in Tulare. And I'm not going to even get into it. I'm going to let Emerald go ahead and call him, and then we're going to go ahead and talk. This is really good stuff. Really good stuff. And then we're going to talk to you about your sighting. I mean, we have a lot to talk about with you. And then we'll get you your book. Hopefully, Emerald will call Alan. All right, here we go. Hey, Alan, you there?
Yes.
Hey, all right. Thank you for coming on tonight and telling everybody your story. I talked to Alan a couple of nights ago, and he told me his story, and I find this story really, truly awesome, because this is not the first time I've had a sighting like this with all the aftermath and the surroundings that go with the sighting, and this is really cool. So, Alan, this happened last year, right?
Yes.
All right. About what month? Do you remember last year?
I'm guessing it was probably around May, maybe.
Maybe. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
maybe around May last year.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and tell me again, and don't leave anything out about what happened to you and your son and his friends and stuff. So go ahead. Go for it.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, like I was telling you before when we talked, I was out there. I was with my younger son actually, and we were playing catch over at the church.
Now you live in Tulare, right?
Yes.
Okay. Tulare, California. Go for it.
Yep, okay. And then we were playing catch at the church. Started getting dark, so we were starting to head back. And there's a trail that runs along, out here. It's called the Santa Fe Trail. And we were coming down onto the trail. And as we were walking down, something was kind of like flying down, like it was going to land on the trail right there. It was coming down. So as we crossed the street, we're looking up, and I mean, it seemed like it flew pretty low. And like I was telling you, it didn't make any noise or anything, but it was just something like flying in the air, right? And then to me, it looked like fire, but I guess it was like a glow probably coming from it. But it just came down like it was gonna, almost land on the trail. Well, we had ran underneath like where it was at, and it just kind of went back up in the air, and then it started coming towards all the houses. So we're running down the trail, and I was trying to film it with my phone and stuff. We're running down the trail as it's going over the houses, and I live on one of the corner houses actually, and it started going right over the top of my house. And so we're hurrying up and running as fast as we can down the trail. Well, my older son, was outside working on one of the vehicles. And as we were running down the trail, he had seen it go right in our front, right by the front yard there.
Now, describe to everybody what it looked like and the size of it.
Well, to me, when I saw it, it's like one of the big trash cans you have, in the yards and stuff. Just real big, like kind of like that, like one of the big trash cans. And
so you're talking about like the trash cans they pull out to the edge, the blue or green or the black.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean that's what it seemed like. It could have been bigger than that, but it seemed about something like that. And it just like in the center of it looked like it was on fire or glowing or whatever. And then it just started like coming down and then went up, didn't make any noise. So then it flew out here, and then my son said, "Hey, did you see that?" I said, "Yeah, we were chasing it." Well, it was going down the road like towards these hotels and stuff, So we got my wife. We all, I got my wife and the rest of the kids. We all went into the vehicle and we started following it. So we went out by Jim Marie, and we just pulled over on the side of the road there, and then we were just watching it as it was going in the air, and it was flying like towards Visalia. And while it was up in the air, you can just see it because it was like a glowing red light. That's what you saw on it.
Okay.
And then as it's flying over there, all of a sudden you see like an airplane light. How the little clear light flashes and stuff.
Right.
You see that flashing like towards this, and then as like the airplane was coming towards it, it started going towards like Lemoore, that area. And then I did leave out one part, but when it was on our street over here in Tulare, my son said he saw some unmarked vehicles and stuff, driving down the road. But anyways, we followed it down towards, Lemoore, out towards the country that way, and it was flying out that way. And then we just stopped and we were kind of watching it, and then it looked like it started coming back again towards Visalia. So then we followed it back again towards Visalia area. And then at that point, we were like on Demery, and then it started coming towards Tulare, and then that's when my other son had one of his friends. They went and followed him.
Now,
my wife, and it was already getting late, so my wife and I, and the rest of the kids came back home.
Okay, so you guys came back home, and then your son and his buddies got in his car, and they started chasing it. Now, which way is it going? Which way is it going? Like towards the mountains, right?
Towards the mountain area. Yeah, which way was it going when you seen it? Towards Rankin?
Okay.
It was over towards like Doc's Corner or something.
Okay. So now you and your wife are at home, and your son takes off after. So go ahead and put Alan Jr. on now.
Okay. Hold on just a second.
Man, all the Allens, I love that.
Hello?
Hey, Alan. All right. Okay.
Hello.
So let's take off now. See, your dad and your mom's is now at home, and you jumped in your car with a buddy of yours, and you guys are chasing it now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Which way did it go? And go ahead and continue from there.
We went south towards the Tipton area, and then after we went south, we started going east to this place called there's a place called Buck's Corner. And from there, we just followed it more. We followed it more south into the middle of nowhere, pretty much.
Okay.
And then we backed up into some cornfields, and we're just staring at this cloud. There was lightning out all around us, but there was no noise or anything.
So
and up in the sea.
So okay, so you're looking in the sky and you notice this cloud, right?
Yeah.
Now, was there other clouds around you, or was this the only cloud?
That was the only cloud.
Okay, there's only one cloud there, and then you're looking in the cloud, and what did it start doing?
It was kind of lighting up a little bit, like there was explosions in it or something. It would get real bright, and then you could see outline of things in it.
Okay. Now, you told me what it reminded you of.
It reminded me of something kind of like a big ship.
Like what type?
Like a pirate ship, kind of.
So with the lights going off inside, so like lightning, you were able to see a structure inside there.
Yeah.
And you told me it looked like a pirate ship without the sails.
Yeah.
Right.
That's exactly what it looked like, and there were like different planes flying into it, and then it would get real bright in there, and then they'd fly out, and then they weren't really planes. They were more like guess like a jet type. They're smaller.
So now, did these jets, did they come from, you remember if they came from Fresno or from Lemoore?
They were coming from, I'd say,
Well,
they're coming from the west area.
okay. Okay. Now, you notice other things on the streets as well. What did you guys witness?
What was that? I'm sorry.
What did you guys witness? You said that you witnessed some vehicles that were like chasing this as well.
Oh, yeah, but yeah, there was some unmarked vehicles before all that happened. I got on the roof while my parents were talking, and there was like a black Crown Vic car that was all blacked out and had no license plates, and it drove by our house with a loud like radio scanner on, and it was underneath the thing that we'd first seen. And then while we were out in the country, there was SUVs like Tahoes or something that were all black, and they had black windows and no license plates, and they had short little antennas on the back, like a satellite antenna for your car stereo.
Right. So you think these vehicles were following whatever you guys were looking at?
Yeah. That's exactly what I think.
Okay. Have you ever seen these vehicles out there, or like near your house or on that location ever before?
No, it was my first time ever seeing one like that.
Okay. So the object that you saw in the clouds, you said that there was an airplane that was coming towards it, and also jets as well. And now, were the jets going into the clouds, or were they going around the cloud?
They were going into the clouds, and then after they'd go in, it would light up inside of there like something exploded, and then they'd fly out. And then probably about 40 seconds to a minute after that, they'd go back in, and it would just repeat. And that happened for probably about half an hour or so.
Wow. So what happened after? I mean, did you guys stay there all this time and watch it? What did the object do?
We stayed there for quite a while, and then it quit lighting up, and they quit going in there, and they all flew back. So the way they came in, you're still able to see the outline in the cloud, but nothing was happening, and there was still like lightning every once in a while. But it was weird because the lightning, it looked fake. It didn't look like regular lightning or anything.
Wow.
It looked like it was being placed in areas.
So what happened after about 40 minutes? I mean, what happened to that cloud?
We were after that we were out of the vehicle, and we started walking around some, seeing if we could see any lights on the roads or anything from other cars, and we didn't see anything. So we'd left, and then my friend I was with had shown me a video on his cell phone. He was by the airport in Tulare, and him and his girlfriend were out there watching stars, and out of nowhere there was like red orbs in the sky. He explained it like, and they just all exploded at once. And he had a video of it happening, and that was pretty crazy.
And what happened to the video?
It was just like there's little red dots in the sky.
Right. Does he still have the video?
He still has it, but I wouldn't know how to get a hold of him anymore.
Oh man. Okay, well, keep your eyes and ears open if you do come in contact with him, and if he still has that video, I want to see it really bad. So
okay,
all right. And after all that, have you guys seen any unmarked cars in your neighborhood?
After that, I hadn't seen any of them.
No. Okay.
It was just that one night.
That one night. All right. All right, Ellen, appreciate you telling everybody what happened. Tell your dad thank you. And if you guys ever see anything else, you guys make sure you guys notify Leon, and he'll get a hold of me, all right?
All righty.
All right. Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
The orange lights, that's
well,
we've been hearing that one.
When I get reports and I hear black vehicles chasing the object, and I get that a lot. Remember Justin? I mean, that was nonstop with Justin, and we're talking about the levee north of Fresno. All of a sudden Crown Vics will show up, SUVs and black vans, and tinted windows, and they'll be chasing these things. And I'm going, okay. We have Lemoore Naval Air Base. We have China Lake. We have the 144th here in Fresno. If it was one of ours, why would our guys in black vehicles be chasing it?
They wouldn't.
They wouldn't, right?
Not unless they thought it was going to land and they were like a chase vehicle.
Like
when
and it
you
was
do,
out
like,
of
hot
control.
air ballooning.
It was like it was out of control.
Right.
But this guy is saying that something major was in that cloud, and I believe them because excuse me, when I talked to both of them the other day, I can tell when somebody is lying. And when I first talked to his dad, they weren't lying. They saw something really cool. I'm glad that I knew their friend Leon, which put me in contact with them, and that's how I got a hold of them. But the black vehicles has been seen a lot in Fresno, and I've actually seen them myself.
Yeah.
Way back in the days before I really got involved in this, and I just thought they were just cool-looking vehicles. But I don't know what's going on here in Fresno. We have a lot of things going on here in Fresno, and that's we're talking paranormal, we're talking UFOs, we're talking Bigfoot, we're talking ghost, and Jolene has. How did I? Oh, that's right. The last 2 years ago, it's probably been 2 years now, hasn't it?
It's been at least two.
At least two. I came in contact with Jolene through Danny.
Yes.
Danny gave me a call, said, "Hey, my friend was driving to San Francisco on the 99.
No, we were coming home.
You were coming home from the San
Soccer.
Francisco.
We had a soccer game.
Okay.
So it was my son and I.
Okay, and you guys were coming, and you guys were on the 99 freeway.
Yep.
Whereabout were you guys at?
We were just outside of Madera.
Okay.
And he was doing his homework, and it was dark, and I was driving, and we were approaching an overpass, and I just saw something go over the overpass. At first I thought it was a car, but it was going too fast, and it was above the cars. So I said, "Hey, RJ, watch that." I can't watch it because cars were kind of hitting on their brakes, and I needed to pay attention to driving. So he stopped doing his homework, and he's watching this thing, and I'm glancing up as much as I can, but it just flew over the overpass. And then it kind of disappeared, and then it came back the other way super fast. And it comes back again, and it starts like
Okay, so now
pitching.
it stops in the median of the freeway.
It's not even in the, it's over the southbound lane.
Okay.
And it's in front of the cars in front of us.
Describe it first.
It's triangle, and it's black.
Okay, so right now what I have is I have the B-2 bomber.
Yes.
Okay, now obviously
But
it
it's
wasn't
not a B-2
it
bomber.
wasn't. No, it wasn't a B-2 bomber. How big was it?
I don't know. I can't. I don't know.
Okay, so it was. So basically, then it's going, and then all of a sudden
Exactly. And then it stops. And then it starts pitching
Then
left and right.
it starts doing this.
Above the cars in front of us.
And so it's putting on a show for the cars.
It almost felt like it was a kid with
like a drone.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know who would buzz cars, and it was bigger than a drone. I mean, it was a full-size craft of some sort.
Okay, and it was triangle. Now, obviously, we have drones, and everybody has seen drones on TV. When the day the Earth stood still, these drones are engine powered. They're just taking off. I haven't seen yet a drone that actually stops in midair and can do maneuvers and stuff. I'm sure we have some.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure we do.
They got quadcopters, but they're still little.
Yeah. Yes. Now, right when you called me, and we had you on the show 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago.
I think it was more than two.
I think it was
because
three,
we hadn't really heard about drones yet. Even I mean,
Okay.
that was really something that hadn't been talked about.
I had a
much.
call right around the same time, and it happened in Tulare and Visalia on the 99.
Yes.
And
It was the same thing.
And the same thing happened.
Yep.
A craft, the same description as yours. Somebody called me on it. Stopped in the median and was doing maneuvers for everybody, and all the cars on both sides were, and they're going, "What the hell is this?"
Exactly.
Okay. Now, obviously, we have Lemoore Naval Air Base. I'm thinking it's coming out of there. These are new drones, and why they were doing those type of maneuvers in front of cars is beyond me.
Right.
Because
well, you could see them doing it out in the middle of nowhere, right,
Yeah.
or something like that. But yeah, on the 99, I mean, really, it's a huge traffic hazard. I mean, I had my son who was able to kind of tell me what's going on. I'm glancing, but I really had to keep my my eyes on the road, or
Right.
else we would have been in a collision.
How many people saw what you saw?
It had to have been hundreds.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it was a evening, and there was a lot of traffic going both ways. But I just don't know why Lamar would do that. I mean, why would they want to create? Usually, they're wanting to be more subdued in what
top
they're
secret.
doing. Yes.
Yeah, like you said, why not go over the ocean, or why not go to the mountains or the desert? But why are you going to fly over the 99 freeway and stop
And mess with
and
cars?
show everybody, look at our new top secret aircraft. I'm going to go
Exactly.
ahead and stop in midair, and I'm going to tilt it. Look at what I'm doing, guys. Okay, and what did it do? And after that,
And
what?
it just took off, and it took off so quickly. I mean, it was just stunning how fast it went. And I've never seen anything go that fast in the air.
There would be like a safety factor there too.
Well-
I mean, if it was if it was us,
Yeah.
I mean, the guy has to know that everybody's gonna be throwing their brakes on.
It's like, if
You'd be
no,
like big old giant crash on 99.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Let's say there was a massive accident, and all of a sudden you have 30 or 40 people. The news show up. They go, there was a craft doing maneuvers right over the
Exactly.
99 freeway,
and
so,
a 40-car pileup.
Yeah. So why would our government, our military people, take the chance of something like that happening? That doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't.
no.
What was strange, though, is that all those other cars had to have seen what we saw,
Oh, absolutely.
and
Well,
nobody. And you checked, right? You checked with the Madeira or the
yeah,
CHP.
nobody said anything. Obviously everybody saw it because everybody hit the brakes
Although I wouldn't have said anything. I mean, the only reason I even found you was because of Danny.
of Danny.
There's nobody to call.
I mean, what do you say?
Yeah.
Right. I'm. You
Call
know
the
what?
I
sheriff's
just saw this really
department.
strange thing, and it's gone now.
I'm sure that a bunch of those people in those cars got on their cell phones really quick and probably called CHP, and CHP just probably, okay, thank you, and that was into that. I see. That's what's throwing me for a loop here, guys. Is if it's our government testing a top secret craft, why would they do that?
It wouldn't make sense.
That wouldn't make sense.
No,
Okay,
put
so
lives in danger.
yeah.
really.
So let's think now. It's not ours. Why would they be doing it here in Fresno on the 99 freeway twice?
really,
that you know of.
That I know of. Yeah.
It happened one more time. Remember the one that was out on 152?
And on Los Banos, right before Los Banos, I got another call.
Yeah.
Something came over similar to your description, but it flew over the 152 and it turned on its brights and like it was scanning the ground.
Oh my gosh.
And it hovered
it
over a
was,
house.
yeah, and it was
everything.
scanning the
Oh my
ground.
gosh,
And it would
can you
turn off,
imagine?
and it would go, and it would scan like this. And people were pulling over, and they were looking at this at 2 o'clock in the morning, going, "What? It's not a helicopter," but it reminded me of Close Encounters of the Third Kind when the UFO flies over Dreyfus's in his truck, and all of a sudden the mailboxes start shaking, right? And he looks through his windshield, and this thing goes right over, and then boom, it turns on the lights, and it's doing this.
Right.
That's what this thing was doing.
That would be so scary.
That's what this
That
thing
would
was
be so
doing.
scary.
Okay, now
Nowhere to hide.
Adrian Ramirez.
That's right. That's right.
Adrian
yeah.
Ramirez's
Sister.
who lives up where?
Right below Prather.
Prather. On a
It's
well,
on
we want to
Nicholas Road.
Nicholas Road.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
They see these crafts come over their property and turn on the brights like it's scanning the ground.
And
we
they
actually,
were saying that there's like scoop holes in the ground
Oh my gosh.
where this thing is like doing the lights, and they went over there and there's like scoop marks out of the dirt. Like
Is
they're
it,
like
is it the triangle like we
Yeah.
saw?
well,
that
I'm not sure.
we're not sure because
Just a
at
ship.
one point in time they just now look through their window and they see these things. They can't quite look at the ship, but they see the light, scanning
so
scanning
bright.
the floor. Yeah, and they just stay inside. And now it's like a
Oh my
regular
gosh.
occurrence. We went
Wow.
up there and to the house, and it's right near Black Mountain,
Yep.
where we have officially gotten told by, I'm not going to say who, that we have an underground facility, and the Black Mountain in that area is like one of the locations where you can enter it. Is it one of ours? It could be, but man, they're not really trying to keep any of these things top
So
secret anymore.
we even found out that there's 2 Black Mountains. There's one by China Lake.
and, that way, yeah.
And then there's one right here, and it had us confused, like which Black Mountain were we talking about? The Black Mountain over there also has something under it or in it.
Yeah.
And we thought, oh, well, it was that one. And then we found out later on from someone else that we can't say, but this one has something under it too.
Yeah.
In fact, on the other side of it, on the other side of it from Fresno is Sierra High School, and everybody lives on the Sierra High School side of it. There's a bunch of people that live on that side of it, but only on the opposite side of it, nobody lives on it. It's absolutely.
And it's ours. It's.
We have no idea.
I mean, you've been told
I
it's
don't
something
know.
there,
Can't
but
even
it's
get to
like
it.
I don't know.
government.
I don't know.
We've drove all over. Like I used to live up there, and I used to clean properties for people who were selling their house, and I would go and paint and do stuff. And I know a lot of people on this side of it, but you can't get on the other side of it. And me and him drove up there, and we were trying to get on the other side and couldn't get on the
It
other
must be
side.
like a bat cave or something, right?
Something like that.
You know what?
Covers.
You're like hitting it on the head when you think about top secret entrances and how they're covered, and you know what? A lot of that stuff.
We hear the same thing about over by Bryant.
Yeah.
They see the door open
And things
come out of Bryant. In fact, where I was telling you where my granddaughter said they saw the Bigfoot somewhere over there.
So
right there.
it's like, what in the heck is going on here? I don't know. You know, little creatures walking around, Bigfoot.
I have
serious.
not seen a little creature.
Oh, you're lucky. I don't
Look,
know.
there's one right
Yeah,
there.
there's one right
14-year-old with bare feet.
That's it. It's close you're gonna get. So, all right, Jolene. You're into this paranormal stuff, aren't you?
Well, it's really funny.
All you
'cause
guys. Is it you two?
You
Yeah.
know what? This started very innocently with, my husband Robert and I going with Danny and Bryn Valderrama to the Queen Mary. And we're driving there. We're going to spend a weekend there. And, Danny's all into all this stuff. Well, we are watching TV shows and stuff, so we're into it too, right?
Yeah.
And so the first thing we say is, well, we really don't believe in Bigfoot. It just seems too far out there. But, ghosts and all that stuff, and we kind of see that. So we're just talking on the way there, and of course we get to the Queen Mary, and Robert had done research. We're scheduled to do a ghost hunt, on the ship that night, a midnight ghost hunt, and
Fun.
seriously. So Robert's doing research. He researches everything, and he says, they are talking about you can really have a good shot at getting a picture of a ghost with an iPhone. iPhones pick up pictures of ghosts. So the Valderramas go to their room, we go to our room, and he stops, and he's taking my picture as I'm walking to our room with the iPhone. And so we get into the room, we're freshening up, and he comes in, and he said, "Did you see anybody in the hall?" As we were coming down the hall. And I said no, and he goes, "Are you sure?" And it's like, I already said no, I didn't see anybody. And then he goes, "Look," and his hand's shaking. So I know he's not messing with me, right? Because his hand's kind of trembling, and he shows me this picture.
Okay, what I'm going to do, you guys, I've got the picture here, and I'm going to show it on the screen. You guys did not see this.
I totally did not see it.
And you, Robert, obviously didn't see it either.
So now tell us what you were telling us about counting the doors.
Well, see, so what happened, we saw this photo.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Robert saw the photo. So, of course, right away, he has to call Danny and tell Danny, I got this photo, you got to come see. So, of course, Danny and Brent come over, and then they do a reenactment to see where I was versus where this entity was, and it was really close. I mean, it was really close. There's no possible way that I would have been in that hall and not seen him. And he's taking the picture, and he would have seen.
Right, like you would have taken the picture.
He was really close.
Like he would have seen it in, when he was taking the picture. He thought he was just taking a picture of you.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, and he was just doing it because he had read that, iPhones pick up pictures of entities on the Queen Mary.
Right.
So he was, we're just there. We're kind of joking around. It's all fun and games.
Right. Okay, so right now I have on the screen is I have the photograph. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send it to Keith right now at artbell.com because we were going to talk about this, but I'm going to go ahead and send it over to him right now, and he's going to tweet it out on the artbell.com network. This picture made it in a book.
It did. But Danny found a book. I think it's and if I don't know if he's
listening
on here,
probably.
but I think it's called Ghosts of the Queen Mary. But what happened is the Sanger Herald put out a call for anybody who had a ghost story. So I wrote an article. I'm a journalist, and so I wrote an article about the experience. But finishing the story, so we have this picture. Robert goes to the front desk, shows the front desk the picture, and says, "Do you have anybody that still wears, this uniform?" Because we hadn't seen anybody, and they said, "Oh no, we don't use uniforms like that." So I'm sitting in our room, and I'm looking through the coffee table book, and there's a photo from, I think it was the 1920s or the 1930s, and it was the staff of the Queen Mary, and they're all wearing that uniform.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in on it.
That would trip me out.
Okay, I'm going to
That
zoom
was
in.
that.
It's like, now we're having fun.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
And
that's pretty
you
cool.
can actually see like a bellhop hat on it,
He's
right?
got the hat. He's got the white gloves.
Oops, I'm going to bring him down a little bit here.
And we never saw him. I mean, other than through
Wow.
the lens
you
of the
guys,
camera, we
you
never
guys
saw
are looking
him.
at and I know Jolene and Robert, you guys, and they're not going to pull a fast one on us. This is as real as you can get. I have
Actually, we've talked about this private, not on the air, and
Yeah.
went over this picture like a bunch of times,
And, I come across a lot of ghost pictures, and because people send me orbs, and then orbs to me are just, dust particles, not unless you have actual images. This is probably the best I have ever seen. And I know where it came from.
Right,
It
yeah.
came from you guys, and
Right.
I know you guys are not going to pull a fast one on us. There's no way ifs, ands, or buts. So you guys, it's on right now. I just sent it over to Art Bell, and hopefully they're going to go ahead and tweet it out. If not, he can go ahead and put it on the paranormal with the rest of the pictures with Danny, and we'll see what happens. But that is really cool.
And there's also the photo, of the on the Sanger Herald. There's also the photo of the on the coffee table picture that
right.
I shot, and have that as well, so you can really see
So
that crew.
So if you want, you guys who are listening right now can go and Google Sanger Herald Ghost
Yeah, with Sanger Herald, Queen Mary will get you to the article.
to the article.
And it has both photos on there. It toggles between
Both of them?
this one and the other.
Okay.
But
That is
anyhow,
really
that's
cool.
kind of how it all started. It really is Danny, and Bryn, and doing this Queen Mary
Right.
ghost hunt thing. And of course, we found our own ghost. We didn't see one on the hunt.
So okay, so you don't think that the Queen Mary people were pulling a fast one on you, because there's no way they could be
Well, how would unless they've got some way of, I don't know.
of
cloaking themselves, because really you would have saw the guy.
You would've
It
saw
was
it, yeah.
really close. I mean,
Yeah.
Danny can attest to how close this photo was.
Well, I know Robert would have saw him, and
Right.
you probably would have wanted to talk to him or something too.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
What are you doing? Hey, man.
and
we're-
nobody there is wearing that.
You photobombed me.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really
So,
cool.
But that's kind of how it all started, Up until then,
so you got the bug because of this picture.
No, we didn't get the bug. I mean, it just happened, and then the UFO thing happened,
Right.
and I happened to know about Danny and his involvement with you, so
Right.
that's how I got connected with you, and then that led to then ghost hunting, or not, Bigfoot.
Right. And
Bigfoot
matter of
hunting.
fact, what I did is, for all those who don't know, because of Alan is Native American, and he has relatives up at the Tule River in Portable, and they invited us up to a camp.
Man,
out.
did you see what they did the other day up there? Yesterday?
What?
They busted a bunch
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
plants.
I saw that. I actually.
we didn't see any of those when
I
we were
didn't
there.
know.
though.
I actually posted the article on JoJo's Facebook and going busted.
Well, I know it's not his because he doesn't do that stuff, but
Right.
it's his cousin.
They about 1,600 plants or something like that.
Yeah, and they had the river dammed up, and I guess that's how they got busted.
Oh.
Is they dammed the river up so that the water would go
To the plants.
water the plants.
Well,
And everybody
anyways.
downstream's like, hey, where did all the water go?
Well, anyways, we went camping on the Tule River up at the on Res land, right?
Yes.
Reservation. And Jolene and Robert and Michael went. He's the one with no shoes.
Yeah. No
Okay.
Michael went on the first one, and then the other son, RJ, went on the
RJ.
second
Okay,
one.
so Michael went. He went with us, and this. I'm going to show you a picture. I mean, Ellen, we went basically where
Nobody goes.
Well, nobody goes.
Only real close friends of family
Uh-huh.
are the only ones that ever go back in.
Now, especially to this waterfall. What I'm going to show everybody
Especially
right now.
to the waterfall.
What I want to show
That
everybody
was
is
special. That was real special.
That was real special.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
I mean, not many people could say they ever been there beside Native American, really.
right. So you can say that we were probably the white folk up there.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
the only maybe white folk that ever made it up there was teenagers of the friends of the residents. So like high school kids basically. not really anyone else.
Right.
So, I mean, you guys got to go see something, and I couldn't go.
I know,
see
poor
it.
Alan. God,
I know,
Alan.
we were back at camp.
Yeah.
Next time I'll have somebody backpack me.
Or fly in a
There you go.
helicopter. But there was this awesome waterfall, and there was inside the rock there was leftover water from, I guess, the wet, from
That's right.
yeah. And we were falling left to right.
Danny especially.
Danny,
I
I saw
like 5
it was
times
so
with
it
his
was so
camera.
slippery. Danny slipped and went right into one, and he, and me thinking I'm gonna go save him. I tried running, and I went right into the water too. But Michael said, and I was telling you guys, that you guys will probably never ever do this ever again. And Michael just jumped in. He just jumped in the water.
It's fearless.
And so it was an experience. I mean, we had a blast. Like I said, it was, we'll never see. I'm not going to say we're never going to do this again because we've been invited. We've been invited back.
Yeah.
Been invited back. Now, for all those people who don't know about the Chile Reservation, you guys have heard about the murals, or what do you call them?
Hieroglyphics?
Well, they call it the paintings.
The paintings of Bigfoot on
ancient paintings.
we went there, and we were actually able to. Oh, not that one. Not yet, anyways. Where is it? There he goes.
Man, everybody
You
was
guys-
sideways on that one.
You guys have seen photographs and probably video and pictures of this on Bigfoot.
This was on National Geographic too, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Finding Bigfoot went there, but we actually got to go where these paintings were, and again, not that many people get to go to these things.
I'll tell you, like, one person before us went, and it was Kathy Strain.
Oh, Kathy Strain, yeah.
And she took pictures, and then her pictures were on, they were shared with the History Channel and National Geographic stuff, but it was her pictures, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we got some pictures, and then right after that, Finding Bigfoot.
And that was only because of you.
I was able to get Finding Bigfoot in there, and they actually got to go in there and do a little ritual enabling them to go to that. And now, since then, it's cut off. They're not letting any cameras or any. I mean, I've had several cable people call me and try to get in there, and they're absolutely said, no way, that's enough pictures.
Wow, so we were really lucky.
We were really lucky.
Really lucky. That,
Yeah.
And I was trying to tell them, really, you have something here.
They could make so much money.
They could do tours, like they have a casino not far from there.
Right.
They could actually do tours where people pay to go over there and look at that, and they'll pay and come from all around the world to
Absolutely.
go look.
This is
It's really
a
cool.
tourist attraction,
Yeah.
easy,
It's
and
amazing in
they
there.
can actually, use the Bigfoot and to their advantage.
They can make a theme.
They can make a theme thing
that they
going on
want.
the. Oh my gosh! If they
It's
only knew how
spiritual
much.
to them.
Yes.
But I mean, I got to talk about that experience too, because we had done nothing remotely like that before, and that was just for fun because it was something we hadn't done before.
Sure.
And so you're out there, it's the middle of the night, and it's pitch black, and no one's ever been out there before, and and you have your small child with you, and you're really kind of wondering, how did I get here? I don't even know these people very well, and it was really scary.
And they
You're
were
calling.
having that women's retreat.
Yeah.
Yes,
And they
yeah.
were singing in the morning
It
and
was
stuff like that.
so bizarre.
Praying
It was
in the
just, it
evening.
was the scariest thing, but in a good way, right?
Right.
It was really,
No,
really
it
fun.
it was something that that it you think, wow, how did I get here? This is
exactly.
something.
And we didn't even see Bigfoot, and I was still scared.
Now, yeah. Now,
I saw
actually,
him.
That would have just been icing.
Alan and JoJo saw something that night. So as they were outside taking a wee wee,
we were just talking about that before I came.
really.
He's been at my house for a couple days
Uh-huh.
doing barbecuing stuff.
Uh-huh.
We were just talking about that, how I went out first and I saw something in those old oaks.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
creepy kind of looking, because the moon was out and it was creepy, and there's this big old shadow like sitting there rocking back and forth.
Oh my gosh.
And I got myself back in the tent, covered up my head. And then he went out to do the same thing I did, water a tree. And he saw the same thing, and then he booked it back in the tent. And then the next thing you know, Jeff had these sensors.
Motion sensors.
And they started going off.
Oh, that's right.
And
that's
I
right.
covered up my head, and I was like, that's it for me. You know, I just knew it was coming.
And I was
for me.
asleep, and they didn't wake me up.
Right? Yeah, we didn't.
I
wake
kicked
him
his
up.
butt the next morning.
But I could hear Joe cussing when the sensor went off.
Right.
He started. He was
outside. He was outside. He was
cuss words.
outside, right? At that time.
No, he actually had just got back in the tent.
Right.
And I mean, he was talking to himself when he was going in. You know, like, oh my God, you know. And I was laughing like, haha. Now he's going in because I did.
Right.
He saw what I did.
Now, people, you have to understand that the reason why we were there is because all the people, I don't want to say all the people, but a lot of people there at the res have seen the Bigfoot there.
Oh yeah.
They're there and that's why we were invited to go up there, because that's where the Bigfoots are. Now, because of the drought and the pot plants, we don't know when we're going to go back up, but right now it's there's no water, obviously,
Right, yeah,
and that's just because of the drought. At one point, they wanted to take us up even further up, where they're actually walking around,
where they're actually
gosh.
staying.
where the Bigfoots are actually
Like where we were, they'll come and check you out.
right.
Right.
But they
You
wanted
go
to take us up
to
where
their house.
Yeah.
their house.
Oh, and that was another thing. They also, these guys also said, and they're very interested in women and children. And we're like, Michael and I are the only woman and child there. It's like, oh my gosh, we're Bigfoot bait.
You know what? We could have tied a rope onto their
might
leg
have
and then
what-
go.
I actually think that the singing of the women is what brought those things in, really. You know, they were doing their ritual prayers and stuff like that. I mean, it was beautiful sounding.
Yeah, it was weird.
They were on the other side of the river from us, and it was actually beautiful. And it was great.
Wow. And that was a good time. And right now I have a picture up on the screen, and this is inside the casino. That's a grizzly bear, I'm thinking, right? And that is
it's my nieces.
And that is, look at Alan in the middle. Sound like you're stoned, man. Look like you're stoned out of your
man,
wit.
I didn't
Drugs.
sleep much.
Yeah, you didn't.
know.
But obviously, no, he doesn't do drugs. It's that he was just dead tired. We were all dead tired because a lot of us didn't get much sleep. But there was a lot of hiking involved, and we had a good time. But those are the chief's granddaughters.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, the actual chief of the reservation, guys, those are the granddaughters that were staying with us. Obviously, that's Jolene and the family on the right, Danny Valderrama in the white cap, and his son Dresden, and Joe, who is at the far left. And I'm taking the picture, so that's why I'm not in it. Rats.
Yeah, but it was a good picture.
It was a good picture, good time. We had fun. So
We went and had lunch at the buffet.
yeah.
Yes, we did.
And Jolene and Robert paid.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Sure.
nice.
So that was cool. All right, let's get back. All right, now let's get
Now let's get busy.
get busy. Now, you
Get down to business.
like writing, I'm assuming.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've written a Bigfoot article, a
Right.
ghost hunting article.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, there's a
I'm
picture
a journalist
of me.
now.
There's a
Queen
pic-
Mary.
Yeah. And you had an idea for a story, and so tell
Okay,
us about this.
so-
Tell us about this book.
So I'm in church, and I am watching a lady that we had dinner with one night, and she was saying I used to be 5'2", eyes of blue, and apparently she was quite a looker. And she's now very elderly, and she's just really struggling to get to her seat. And I'm just watching her, and I'm trying to imagine her being 5'2", eyes of blue, and and I'm really looking at her, thinking, well, what would it be like if she was like that? And then I'm starting to look at everybody, and I'm trying to imagine everyone. Well, what would it be like if everyone was like that? And I just started playing with the idea in my head. I thought, well, that'd be kind of an interesting story, because it would change everything. It would change how you are individually, it'd change families, it would change culturally, globally, I mean, everything. Everything would change with that. So what I did was I couldn't figure out how to make that happen. I couldn't figure out, well, how would you write a story where everyone is the same age? You need a catalyst to make that happen. And so what I do is I read the books that my kids are reading in school so that I can discuss them with them. And my older son, RJ, was reading the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Oh wow!
Which was the
From school?
Yes.
Like doing that in school?
Yeah,
Wow.
it was, and it's the first fictional story that's been discovered. It was written on tablets, and they didn't find all the tablets. So
What
they've
if
written
it's not fictional?
exactly. So somehow I knew
You know
you
what?
would say
Elizabeth
that.
actually said that about. I mean, she like hit it right on the head. She actually said, "Well, continue on."
Okay, so I'm reading it, and at the kind of towards the end of it, it has this comment about if you go into the river and you find the thorny plant and you cut your hand on it, you will receive the the youth that you're looking for. And I just thought, oh my gosh, that's it. That's how I can make it happen. So I just went from there. Once I had that, it all just clicked into place. And so the main character is Gil for Gilgamesh, and he's on the Siddhartha, that book from Hermann Hesse about the Siddhartha's always searching for the truth, and so I thought that was an appropriate name for his boat. And he's a treasure hunter in the ocean, and he cuts his hand on a plant in the ocean, and he's rejuvenated to 27. So he's trying to figure out, how did that happen? He's trying to hide it. He realizes he's a treasure hunter, and he's just found like the treasure of all time, so he's trying to deal with that. Of course, then word gets out, and then people are trying to get it, so there's this whole villain who's after it. He's billionaire, and he's the little guy, and so he's trying to fight the odds, and so the story goes through. It's in 3 different sections. The first section is really what happens individually to people as that happens. His dad does it. Well, his dad is kind of faded off into the sunset, and he's kind of ready to die and everything, and he talks his dad into doing it, so his dad starts changing, and it kind of just talks about mentally, like he gets jumped and he doesn't fight back, and it's because mentally he's still thinking that he was the age he was. And so we kind of play with that, mentally, getting used to being back at an age that you used to be.
Because you're like all frail now,
right?
In your mind, because you're frail. Right?
Exactly. So I play a lot with that as
fun.
This whole chase is going on. So that's book 1, is the individual things that happen, relationships that happen, and then book 2 is and it's all within one book.
One book,
right? So the second section is more what happens globally, because it changes everything. What happens? Your athletes don't leave. So, and you have all these new athletes coming. So what happens? Do you have 2 leagues? Do you have a league that's transformed and a league that's not? I mean, so it plays with all these different things that would happen. Politicians don't leave. Business people don't leave. So there's not this natural way that things are.
So then it would kind of go back to like pre-flood, where everybody lived like 900 years or something, and
except there's a lot more of us now, right? And so then it kind of talks about, well, governments want to regulate it, and how, you're trying to avoid government regulation, and it just plays with all the cultural things, the global things. And again, there's this villain, William S. Bates, the billionaire, who's like in there causing trouble, and there's chases and kidnappings and things like that. And then the final section is the story retold from the villain's point of view. And then you kind of get him, and you realize, what? Everything you kind of thought is upside down, and it just twists everything. So it was really fun to write, but it just hopefully makes the reader think about how do you feel about yourself, and how do you
want to go back the way you were?
Well, and so and that it talks about that in the book. That some people didn't want to go back. I mean, how weird would it be? Your grandmother looks the same age as you, and how does that affect the family dynamics? And so I just thought it would be fun, and then it would leave the reader with something that they would think about going forward. Well, that would be interesting. And
you'd have your grandpa stealing your girlfriend.
Seriously. Go out partying with her,
Wasn't there a Twilight Zone episode where...
Kick the can.
Kick the can,
yes.
Yes, I remember that.
Yep.
That was a cool episode.
Yep. And they ended up being children.
Yeah.
They were
children. Yeah. And everybody didn't want to go, but the older gentleman is the only one who went
only
back.
The adventure decided to stay.
Yeah, the player, I think he was.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago, but I still remember that. That's Fountain of Youth, right?
Right.
I mean, the Bible talks about it, right?
Yeah, and then there's the alchemist with the they say they can turn the gold into a white powder, and that's what the aliens are after, to turn it into so that they can live forever type thing.
I haven't heard about aliens. We have no aliens or Bigfoot in this book.
Yeah, well, I think it's time to change that. Second book.
Maybe the next one, yes.
The light, the aliens are looking for the Fountain of Youth in Fresno.
Oh, there is a spaceship, though. We do have a spaceship in there.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
That's
You'll have to read the
funny.
book to find out how I placed it, but... Yeah,
Cool.
no, it's
Interesting.
super fun to write and think about, and then you're kind of like, you're in the bank and you're standing in line and you're looking at all the people and you're trying to come up with scenarios. So it was fun. It was in my head for a couple of years before I was able to get it on paper, and And then I gave it to Robert because he wanted it for his birthday. He's trying to give me this deadline, right? Because it's like, okay, I like it for my birthday. So that was my deadline, and I did it. It was his birthday present.
Now 27.
Because that's about the age that they estimate the body is transformed to.
Got it.
Yeah, that's weird because like when you go and you talk about people that near death experience, people that go and they see their relatives on the other side, they're always around 27 or 30 or they're mid-30s.
And I came up with 27.
You know.
It's kind of funny. This is another Danny thing. It's like
Danny, knock it off.
Seriously, get out of my head. No, when we were on the Queen Mary, he had made a comment. Some famous person died, and she was 27. And he made this comment that there were a lot of famous people who die at 27. And so I think that's probably where
Not all the drugs and the partying right there.
Jimi Hendrix and who was it that died when we were on the Queen Mary? It was a singer.
Danny run over somebody or what?
Now we know where he's stashing him, right? The Queen Mary.
Danny.
Run him over, boom, go stash him with the Queen Mary.
Oh, jeez.
But the book's,
Sorry, Danny.
The book's
That was how to
available
do
on
it. I had to do
Amazon
it.
and Barnes and Noble.
Okay.
It's available.
Now, I think we got a couple books we're going to give away. We'll give.
I know, right?
So we'll give them away in a
Where's
little
the
bit
irony
later.
there? Since we have got to, the Polyacks have got to be like one of the all-time winningest book.
No kidding.
On your show.
Yes.
So we won't be vying for this one.
You guys are all here, thank God. So we're not.
Got the kid at home.
Don't call in yet, guys. But let me give you the number. The
Michael,
number
do not
is
call in.
yeah, Michael, knock it off. RJ, stop it. The number to call in, not now, but I'm gonna give you the number anyways. Area code 559-287-8367. 559-287-8367. The last four numbers represent in letters UFOS. That is my top secret paranormal hotline, which I just gave it out. So program it in your cell phone, and don't call yet. We'll tell you when to call. Okay. All right. Let's see. Ghost, UFOs, Bigfoot. What else? I mean,
Well, we went ghost hunting.
you went ghost hunting. Now
We went
that
ghost
was here in
hunting.
Selma,
In Kingsburg,
Kingsburg.
in the country, out in the country. I did it to write an article. I wanted to know about ghost hunting, so Robert and I went. Danny came with us,
Oh, figures.
and we had a Kingsburg ghost hunter that took us to a place. He had the place.
Okay.
It was like an old country house.
It was an
or
old
something.
country house, and his family used to live in the house. And the mom drove us out there, and she got spooked and had to leave, so she left us there. I got to go off on the side note though. Is Danny had more equipment than the ghost hunter?
Did he really?
That's funny.
He did.
That's because Danny's a hunter.
Danny, let me tell you,
Has
I
the
can see his
stuff.
GoPro and his EMF and his camera,
He did,
right?
absolutely.
He was all connected. Freaking Danny, man.
But anyhow, so the people who live there now, they only speak Spanish, but they were telling us there's a ghost in the trailer house. There's the ghost in the living room. There's the ghost, there's all these ghosts that they see, and that they'll throw things at them, and that it's a little bit violent, but they stay there. And then they left. So literally, these people left us in their house, and it's dark. And
Where's the safe?
yeah. So the stories were really scary that they had told prior, but I mean, it was again one of those situations where it's like, how did I get here? You're in this house and it's late at night.
And everybody left.
Everybody left, but
You're safe with Danny, though. Believe me. No.
Yeah, right.
Oh
He'll
well,
see it coming.
well, we're asking the ghost questions, and the ghost hunter had this piece of equipment that supposedly the ghost can talk
through it.
I know you guys know what it's
Or the
called.
voice
I know
box
a voice
thing.
box. Yeah, there
But
you go.
anyhow, so we were asking about going to the trailer, and so should Jolene go to the trailer? There's no comment. Should Robert go to the trailer? There's no comment. Should Danny go to the trailer? And it goes, "Zzz," and it's making this sound like for Danny. So then we go back through and do it again, and again, only one it makes a sound for is Danny.
Well, Danny was so electric, had so much electronics on him. Probably
They
he got
liked him.
closer and he activated. Yeah.
So all the rest of us refused to go with Danny because now we're all scared except for Robert. Robert's like, oh, I'll go with you, I guess.
As long as Danny's not driving the big truck, I think we'll be okay.
So I'm the ghost hunter, refusing to hunt the ghost. I really don't want to see one. So those two went in there. I think at one point Danny felt like something might have brushed his shoulder, but that was it. There was no inexperience. But I mean, honestly, you're just out there and it's scary. So I wrote this article, and then I started getting calls from people with their ghost stories, because now I'm the ghost story expert, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though I've just done this one article on it, and some of the stories were just hecka scary. I mean, this one woman was talking. She thought it was her house, which it was not her house. But she said that they were renting it, and that the owner was bringing in equipment from the gold panning era, and bringing it and just setting it on this is all in the country, setting it on the property, and that as he's bringing this stuff in, strange and stranger things are happening. Like, she would walk past the equipment and something would grab her leg, or it would call her name, and she was they were just getting all these weird things. And then they started sleeping in the living room together because they were afraid.
Right.
And then they fled in the middle of the night because the daughter was being dragged by an invisible force across the living room in the middle of the night. So they grabbed her, they got in the car, and they left. And they didn't even go back for their stuff or anything.
Wow.
And so, yeah, and this is like in the country in Kingsburg. So these are the kind of stories I'm getting. It's like, really, I could have lived a long time and not known that those things were happening.
Didn't this happen to David Ragosa too, I think? Something similar.
Something like that.
They were sleeping in the living room.
Yeah.
I heard that. Yeah.
That happened to me too. We lived at the tower when I first got married, and there was something in the bedroom, and we probably slept in the bedroom 3 nights. We lived there 2 years, and we slept in the dining room. We drug our mattress in, and we would just stand it up next to the wall every morning.
Wow.
And then at night we would flop it down, but we wouldn't go in. In fact, it was like half the house. The kitchen, the bathroom, and that bedroom. Like, my wife would not go in that half until I came home from work.
Wow.
And then, and it didn't bother me, just only sleeping, and you wake up feeling like something's leaning over you, staring at you, and then whenever you wake up, there's nothing there, but you knew there was, and it would mess with things mess with your clothes and things. So. Oh, yeah.
I've never experienced anything like that ever. Since I've been doing this ghost hunt, I've had a couple of weird things happen when I was with Alan.
Yeah.
That is freaking weird. But otherwise, a lot of this
doesn't scare me now.
A lot of the stuff
I
we
can actually
debunk.
get it rid of it.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff we debunk. Yeah. Well, no, he can actually. Well,
I get rid of it.
He can get rid of it.
Yeah, you get used to it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll flat out attack me at first.
No.
It'll flat out come at me.
Stop.
What
And
can
freak
you do,
everybody out,
Emerald?
but
Shut
only
up,
then I
Jeff.
get rid of it.
What can you do,
And
Emerald?
it all has
Stop
everything
you.
to do with Jesus.
Oh, my goodness.
And a lot of people, they don't. It's weird because you could talk about anything. I could talk about UFOs and Bigfoot and demons and ghosts and you name it. Everything. As soon as I say that one word, I get attacked by even regular people.
You guys are very religious,
Yes.
right? You guys go to church. I was brought up, born and raised Catholic. So I was, First Communion. I did the whole thing.
I don't even go to church.
People, when they know what we do or what I do, they look at me all weird. Go, they know my parents, and they go, I don't understand why he's doing this. It doesn't make any sense. Isn't this stuff evil? The demons, the UFOs, the aliens, aren't they supposed to be evil and ghosts evil? Why do you even do it?
Yeah, but how do we know?
Yeah.
There's so much out there that I'm just curious. Doesn't mean that because I believe in UFOs and aliens and all, it doesn't mean that I don't believe in God anymore. That's BS, because I totally believe in a
There has to.
Supreme.
Well, my thing is because my team knows I'm atheist, and
Right.
that's just how I am.
Right.
That with me, it's like there has to be a balance. You can't have just evil things
No.
or just good things. So
Right.
in my opinion, you do, and I'm seeing
So you still okay? So
stuff
obviously
to where
you now
it's good.
right.
or bad.
Obviously you believe in evil.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So then obviously there is a good then.
There is a good
Okay. So do you think there's a higher power?
higher I don't know.
Then-
There's
but-
nothing I'm not going to sit here and bow down to, because my whole thing is, if I want something, if I'm going to get something, it's going to be on my terms. I'm not going to sit there and ask for it. And I think that's where people fall through. And this is just from biased. I'm very biased because, I went to Catholic school
I was
for
gonna say,
8 years, and I read the Bible. And I tell people I'm atheist because I read the Bible. Like, I tabbed it and threw it on my teacher's desk, and I was like, explain this.
Right.
And they couldn't. So, and I don't know. It's just, I do believe that there's good and there's evil. I don't believe one's stronger than the other. I just, balance is my main thing.
And that's, I have friends who, like Emerald, and I don't want to say they were forced, but they were put through Catholic school, and then all of a sudden when they're in the high school grade, boom, they just revert, and they're like totally against, that religion.
Well, it's not like, it is, you have to phrase it right, because I'm not against the belief. People have their own beliefs, and I respect people's beliefs. Like, my mom's very religious.
Yes, she is.
It's like, I'm not going to tell her, oh, you're wrong. I respect that she has that belief, and I respect her more for it because that's something she holds to herself. But I don't agree with the religion aspect. There you go. I was like, what? How do I phrase it? It's the system of religion is what throws me off or away from it. So.
You know what's interesting for me
Mm-hmm.
is I was totally material, okay? Like, marketing director at a casino, banking money like no other, spending it like no other, had all the toys, 20-acre ranch, all this stuff, and then a doctor one day goes, oops, and then lost everything, like overnight. Lost the ranch, lost the cars, lost the cash, lost the ability to walk, lost even the ability to take care of myself, like go get, like, oh wow, you're behind on the rent, so you got to go do something to make money, And I was the side job guy too, right? I would work at the casino, and then on the weekends I would be, painting and doing other things with my pickup truck, making money. And I was a material guy, all the guns, all the toys. Then one day I was the nobody guy, but I also couldn't do anything. When the deadline came for the rent or the power bill or whatever, I could not go physically get up and go earn it. And then, then it was like, oh, what do you do? And I didn't have anyone to rely on. I had no, like, other people that to help me, and the government was like, go apply over here and wait and fight the Social Security, which took 5 years. So for 5 years I had zip. Right as I lost my ranch, I had a few $1,000s. I rented this little house. When the money ran out, that was it. So then all of a sudden I'm months behind on the rent, months behind on the power, months behind on the internet bill. Nothing ever got shut off. Power didn't get shut off. The food never ran out. I didn't get kicked out of my house. But only I was praying a lot, and it was just like miracle after miracle after miracle. And my faith got bigger and bigger and bigger. Because then I knew there's this power that was taking care of me and making sure that all these things were taken care of, because I was not doing it, and neither was anybody in the house. They're like relying on, they always relied on me, so they were looking to me like, what are you going to do? And I'm sitting in my wheelchair going, I don't know, what are you going to do? But they never worked in their life, so they had no idea, no experience. And then all of a sudden, after 5 years, I win Social Security, and today, I am relying on that, because that isn't enough to cover anything. So I have like this huge faith now that this thing is benevolent and takes care of you, but only you have to trust it and put all of that in. You can't hold on to it, Like, if you start worrying and holding it, then you have it.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
But as soon as you can let it all go and not worry about it, and just say, okay, that thing is so, whatever, this power is so good, it can take care of all that stuff. Just let it happen, and it gets taken care of. Completely gets taken care of, to the point of even like changing people's opinions. Like the landlady, first she's like out to get you. Now you can't do any wrong. I mean, I could go and burn half the house down and she'll still love me for some reason. I don't know what it is. Some kind of favor that what this higher power did to her. And I didn't do it. I was just sitting there just like this.
I believe that you spend your time on Earth, and it's what you do with your time. I believe that if you're a good person, then in the long run, and when it's time for you to pass on, then hopefully good things are going to happen. And that's the way I feel. I've been that type of person all my life. And
not me.
Yeah, I know you were a bad boy.
Yeah,
you were a bad boy. Everybody has problems. I've had problems. I've had money problems. I've had this problem. But for some reason, it would correct itself, or something would happen where out of nowhere, bam, and the problem is taken care of. And I was wondering where did that come from? But in the past years, I'm the type of guy, and I do this a lot because I work for AT&T and I'm out on the road a lot, and I see homeless people all the time. And I always give if I can. If I have $5, sometimes, I've actually given these guys $20. I have. And not sooner than later, something will happen to me very positive. Like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like,
balance.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Like
it's like
karma, huh?
It's karma.
It's kind of the same thing. And when I say I'm an atheist, people look at me weird and they're like, oh, you have no morals. Well, it's not that. I also believe, sorry, I'm lightheaded right now. I also believe that if you do good, it's going to come back at you.
Yeah.
It's part of that balance thing. So.
And then I believe that. And that's why I've been, I think, a good person all my life. And it's coming back to help me in my life
right now. Huh?
Yeah, I trip, man. I mean, the things that are happening to this show, and just, Alan is freaking blown away. Alan is right now just blown away with what's happening to, when I started this, it was just a hobby. It was just a freaking hobby. That's it. I was just having fun, a little kid doing, what I don't want to say I always want to do, but, I've always had this in the back of my head. Are there monsters out there? Well, I'm going to go look for them, But I would have never thought in a million years that we would have a live stream show, have already a couple episodes played on the Fox network, on the
couple meetings in Hollywood.
Yeah, have our show is now being broadcasted by Art Bell, my idol,
a worldwide audience.
And now we were just given a 30-minute show on the Fox network, and our set's being built, and it looks like it's probably going to happen, and where it might go national. So, and we're not doing anything.
Right, yeah.
It's
we're
like...
not chasing it. Like we're not out there calling people and looking for agents and pressuring them, or, it's just all just coming.
But they're knocking on our door for some reason. Like, you know what? I think I told Cheryl, Diane, whatever her name is, I remember when I was in...
I know she had 2 birthdays this week. No?
I remember, and I for some reason, this was all... I've never told really anybody this, except for her.
Yeah, the one with 2 birthdays.
I remember, and I was, I think, like in Babe Ruth, high school football, or junior high or whatever. And I was at the Me and Ed in Sanger, and I was eating pizza, and all of a sudden it hit me, and I got this big rush, and it said, something very exciting is going to happen when you get older. And I felt it, and I can remember where I was sitting at that Me and Ed's, and I was looking at the wall, and I got this big rush, and I will always remember that.
Which Me and Ed's?
It's the one at the North End and Academy.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because I was sitting down there with the rest of the ball game, and I was eating my pizza, and all of a sudden it just hit me. And when you get butterflies in your stomach, man, and something said something very exciting is going to happen when you grow up, and that has always been back here, and now this is happening.
So that happened to me We went to the Bay Area.
Sacramento.
Yeah,
I will always remember this.
We're
Go
riding in
ahead.
a truck that hit me just like that.
Yeah.
I mean, and I was riding along.
For all those who are listening, this was our first symposium, whatever, in Sacramento, and this
and
was
we barely did like maybe 10 or 20 shows or something here.
4 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe. Yeah. And on the way back, this guy would not shut up.
Hard to believe.
I know, I don't shut up usually.
He was going, Jeff, oh my God, I feel something big is about to happen. And he did not stop for 3 hours on the way back, constantly saying that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? I can't tell you. I don't know. He just kept saying it over and
Something
over.
huge is happening, you know, like we're going like big somewhere, you know. And I knew it right there sitting there. And then it was weird because we started getting these calls here lately. And he emailed me, and all of a sudden, all came back. You know, like that one night, it all came back, and we were
Remembering all that.
Yeah, and we had a meeting with like the vice president of distribution in NBC or something.
It was just you know, and then you know, people started calling me and asking for assistance, and then it's just like, why? I don't understand. Something is going on here, and I don't know. You know, it just, man, we're here for the ride. You know, we're having fun doing it. I did not expect to make a single, penny doing this. I have a great job. I work for AT&T. I make great money. And, you know, this is something where possibly I can leave AT&T.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, and continue on with this and do a double duty of TV and radio. And I think that's where it's going. You know, there are still a lot of things that we haven't told everybody out there who are listening and watching us that are happening and what's going on in the behind the scenes, but it's going to be where, you know, I'm going to give him my last week's notice at AT&T possibly, you know, and hopefully Cheryl will be able to quit her job and not give me any more. God, my kids in my class. Oh, you know.
No, she loves her kids. They're good.
Sometimes,
kids.
you know, some years yes, some years no. Some years yes, some years no. But yeah, you know, I don't know. I don't know what to say. But you know, Alan's feeling that he had 5 years ago when we were coming back, him and I, by ourselves. It's just now I know what he's
starting
saying.
to happen. I mean, it hasn't started. It started.
It started.
And then it's almost like this ladder. And usually my life was go up 3 or 4 rungs, go back 10. You know, go up 3, go down back 10. Right. Only lately it's been go up a rung, go up a rung, go up a rung, and we're not going back any rungs.
It's a trip.
We're getting pretty high on the ladder
It's a trip.
now. And in fact, it'll be interesting. Like, we should be giving away a couple of books, but it'll be interesting to see how many books you sell.
Yes, that will be interesting.
Yeah, it could be really big.
Who knows?
Really.
I mean, yeah. I mean, who
Especially
knows?
like I already want to read it because, I mean, I didn't know anything about the book. I didn't know what it was or anything. My internet's been cutting in and out all week, and as I've been having trouble, and I couldn't research anything like that. I love the sound of the book. I love that stuff.
Well, and I kind of feel like it was placed. You know, you talk about, you know, things being placed. I mean, that whole thing, it was in church, right? When I get the idea.
Yeah.
So I really do think that it's a story. And actually, part of it, I met with our pastor, and I said, if this happened, you know, what would you think? And so he was very matter of fact. He goes, well, if it's here, God placed it here, so it was meant to happen. And so that's actually, one of the characters is religious, not all of them, just one character, and he's kind of like the one that will make the little, you know, comments religious-wise, because I didn't want it to be a religious book, but I did want to have a voice in there with that. So, yeah, I definitely think this was placed in my head.
That happened with Richard Keel. He did a movie. And wanted it to be mainstream movie, but he also wanted to have that little Christian thread running through it, you know, like a little message or something, or you know, and he did that, and we worked on that like in the 80s, and it was interesting.
It's very subtle, and it's just that one character, and it's more not even like message. It's more opinion coming from that perspective, and there's other perspectives obviously as well. There's a variety. It's part of the whole intrigue of the book. Hopefully, is you've got a variety of people looking at the same thing and seeing it differently.
I was tripping out like when you were talking, just thinking about like Adam and Methuselah and all these guys, living to like 900 years.
Yeah.
And I just spent like 4 days with my grandson.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, and he's like a year and a half or something like that. But could you imagine your great grandson? Like if you're at 400 years old now and they're still dropping kids off on you.
You have a whole reservation full of.
I'd be going looking for that thing to go, liven up a little bit every time, like maybe give me some energy or something.
Big family reunions, big.
Yeah. All right, let's go for the. Let's go ahead and give away a book. And I know there's a time lapse on the Art Bell, and so in 20 seconds, we're going to give one away. 10th caller right now, 559-287-8367. 559-287-8367. We're going to give away a book, 27, by Jolene Polyack.
Make it the 27th caller.
Polyack. Sorry, Robert.
27. Make it 27th caller.
I'm not waiting that long.
10th caller.
Just have the second caller call and say, you're
caller.
the 27th.
That's it. 10th caller right now. What are they going to say?
They would never know, but only Emerald is really honest.
What I'm going to do...
If we say 10, she'll do it on 10.
While she is waiting for somebody to call, I have been challenged for the ALS Bucket Ice Challenge.
Me too.
Okay. And it's by...
Ha ha.
Bite me. So I want to do it afterwards, and maybe you guys can help me out. Okay. I have something... I already know what I'm going to do, but I need some help. All right, and then we're going to post it on Facebook and the whole 9 yards. So
it's the Jeffrey style.
It's the Jeffrey style.
Oh,
I'm going out on a bang, but I need help to do it.
With a bang.
Oh boy, with a bang. So, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to announce the people who I challenge when I'm up there and doing it afterwards. You'll hear it, but right now, for all those who are listening, I'm going to go ahead and announce the names. It's a whole list. I don't care. And okay, well, Alan's already been challenged, so he's got to do it. Danny Valderrama, Trevin, Dresden, Robert, Jolene, RJ, and Michael. They're in the two, dang straight. And my official house band, Possessed Tranquility, Anthony, Kaylee, Corey, Jason. And I am also going to get Robert Scott. You're also challenged. Now, this is going way back to my music days back in L.A. Steven Siebold of Hate Department, my producer of all my albums back then. Rob Robinson, Dan Coven, Chris Campbell, and Eric Sharp, Sean Sutherland, and my bandmates Ron Canzano and Eric Powell. You guys have all been challenged to do it. So I will dump the water on me, and I'm also going to donate $100 to the ALS, and I will print out the receipt and show you guys proof so you guys know that I actually did it. All right? I'm not going to whiz out and not put money in. We got a wiener.
See this thing. I got part 1 on here, but I don't got part 2, and I don't got chat. So everybody that's like expecting me to be in chat and everything, forget it. I don't know nothing about the iPad. I mean, I used to be like Mr. Computer whiz banger, but iPad's like, it's like a crossbreed between an iPhone and a smartphone and a computer. Or something.
I've been, while she's doing that, I would, last week we talked about, oh, shoot, we have a video. Gosh dang it, I almost forgot this. Okay, 3 days ago, I got a call from, and you guys know that all of the media follow me here in Fresno. We're talking ABC, NBC, Fox, everybody. And a buddy of ours, Ryan from Univision, he knows about the levee. He's heard us talk about it, and he was out there he works the night shift, and he rides around in the van, and when he gets a story, he'll dispatch on it. Well, he was at the levee kicking it, and with the van and with this $50,000, $100,000 camera, whatever,
Right.
and an Army helicopter came in, and it started doing maneuvers in the levee, and it actually landed a couple times like it was looking for something, and he got it on video, and that's what that was.
Whoa, that was cool.
Okay. What? Is there somebody who I own a book
Tell
still?
him yourself.
Somebody I still own a book to? I haven't sent out the books yet.
Okay.
Hold on. The hotline. There it is.
Okay.
Okay. I am going to put up the video.
Who was it that won?
That was Al.
Oh,
Oh,
Sacktown Al.
He wants everything: the shirt, the wine, the book. No.
Okay. What I right now, I have the helicopter going around. This is the levee, in northern part of Fresno.
Where that one triangle crashed. near.
Yes, exactly. Now, I got the video going right now. There's no sound, but at least you can see the helicopter. It's a Black Hawk. You can't really tell, but it's a Black Hawk, and it's going to land at the levee. People are going, wait a minute, this is northern Fresno. Why would a black helicopter, Army, military, land at the levee? Actually, this has
At
happened
night.
several times. Other people have actually called me, hey, we're out here, and this black military helicopter, it's like it's looking for something, and it gets the spotlight, shine the spotlight on it, and then it will look for it, and it will land, and it'll go back up, continue to look for it, land, and all of a sudden it would go and head up to the mountains. Just go, whew, like it found what it was looking for, and now it's going to the mountains for some reason. What you see there are the there's like antennas, large antennas,
Channel 53.
whatever they are, but a lot of times they are
They weren't on.
No.
For 2 years, those lights weren't on, and I think it was a hazard to helicopters and airplanes.
I think there's something
Yeah.
else going on with those lights.
Yeah. I mean, now all of a sudden they're on every night, and they were off for over a year.
But I think, and Justin pointed this out, and I think those lights are part of the underground situation going on over
could
there.
be.
You know what
Could
I'm
be.
saying?
I know they're different color than all the other lights I ever saw.
Yeah, and sometimes they go in different type of order of blinking, like in a certain pattern. When something's going to happen, they start blinking in a certain pattern, But like I've never seen them ever blink like that.
Now,
See them right
usually
there?
they're all at the same time.
Yeah, or different pattern, but I've never ever seen them blink like that ever.
Last night they were all at the same time, exactly the same time.
So I'm just, there's something going on north of Fresno. I don't know. Just wanted
Is
to-
that the Friant area?
That is Shepherd and DeWolf,
Oh.
the levee over there. Yeah.
Mhm.
For those who watched Chasing UFOs, that episode Dirty Secrets with myself in it, and I took James Fox and Aaron Ryder and those guys out there, and we got that white van on video. That's where it was, right there. So okay, we got 12 minutes left.
Got to do another book.
Yeah, we'll do another book. Caller 12. 12 right now. 559 287-8367 287-8367 559, wherever you may be. If you're in a cabin,
The last winner was Sacktown Al.
Sacktown Al.
He's a cool guy. Can't wait to see him
Is
again.
that one of your cousins?
No.
No, but he's really cool.
He's in
we met him.
Sacramento.
We actually met him at a Sacramento UFO conference.
That's the one where he got all.
Yeah. But it was he's cool.
Are you going to talk about the zombie run? Are you doing the zombie run this year?
They haven't called me on it, but it moved to the Kearney Park.
Kearney Park.
Yeah. So I'll have to give him a call.
That's where the zombies live.
Yeah, that's actually I've heard many stories about that place.
It's got to be. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll call him and tell him that to give us a spot someplace. Last time
So
we
we
did
wanted
it.
to be on your crew.
Okay.
Last year we ran.
You guys ran.
And we got through your.
Oh, I remember that.
We just
That was
it was I didn't. It was the first
I want to do
time.
the opposite now. I want to be the chaser instead
So
of the chasing.
hopefully, if we're free, and I'm thinking we'll be free. So
I'm always free.
We will.
I don't even cost anything.
We will do something really cool, like a maze or something, and really go all out. So.
Oh, last year you were scary. You were very scary with the.
Yeah, he had people crying.
Yeah.
He did.
my job.
It was
Oh my
pretty
gosh.
fun.
I make people cry.
I mean,
I just show them a picture of Alan. Look!
They were so afraid that, I mean, they were running along, and then when they got to us, they would stop and all start grouping up and making plans on how to get by us. you know.
Seriously.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, we definitely have to do a strategy.
Yep.
They were running out of the bounds and jumping over stuff.
we'll
you know.
dig some holes and put some like leaves on top, and or some wire trip.
What
Yeah.
one did with our group is that she pretended to like chase us, and then she went like that, like she was tired, and she sat back down, and then after we passed, she came up from behind, so she got the ones behind.
Ooh.
That'll be the way
There's
to
a
do
lot
it.
of strategy involved with
Yes,
the
there
zombie
is.
chase.
Well,
A
I
lot
know
of
we got
strategy.
like lots of those little flags.
Oh,
we were
yeah.
like hanging them up, man. We were
Big time flags.
I guess when they came around the corner and seen all the flags hanging there, they're
They
like,
gave up.
"Oh, damn!"
We're
I
done.
want to do that. You guys, the soccer team was hard too.
Oh
the
yeah.
girls' soccer team. Oh my gosh, getting by them.
So, all right, let's
It was fun.
we were talking about something before we started tonight, and about you talking about a story.
Oh, about the but only you know the like the ISIS thing. We
Yeah,
need
the
to talk
ISIS
about
thing.
that.
And we only got like 8 minutes, but a laptop has been found supposedly by the United States government, and it states that ISIS has already crossed the border south of the United States, and they're in here, and then within probably the next several months, they're going to pretty much start blowing things up.
Yeah, and I was hearing on the way over
Who
here
was
there
it?
was like 3
Ginger.
within 3 months. And those guys
That's
win,
good. That's
huh?
good, because I'll be able to send 2 books at once then with her.
Wow.
Maybe if you sent them in the first place.
Yeah, I know. I need to hire somebody to do that for me because I just don't have time.
Hello, hire? You don't even pay
Oh,
me.
that's right. I pay you double to nothing. So,
Yeah, thanks.
so all right. So what's next in the
Give
future
you
for you?
a raise,
Any-
double, no.
What are you
You know, I
doing?
wanted to send the book. I also got guide stones in there. They're explained. The Atlanta guide
Oh,
stones.
the Georgia Guidestones?
Yes. I explain them in there, just so you know. This is a
In
teaser.
this book?
In this book, yes.
And,
Since
and that is that from your personal theory of
it just fell into place for the book and what I wanted to do. But Robert just pointed out to me that I should mention the guide stones to you two.
Yeah.
100, 300,
They're explained.
There's supposed to be like 500 million is all they want.
Yes. Yeah.
That many people.
No, was it that many?
Yeah.
Yes. No more than.
No more than.
No
yeah.
more than.
I
And
thought,
actually,
I thought the numbers was less than
that's
that. for some
discussed in
reason.
the book. So.
Well, I
just
mean,
a
we're at
teaser.
6 billion, so 500 million ain't that much.
I could have sworn it was less than 500 million because 500 million is a lot.
Not really.
Okay, so the next thing, I got another book I'm writing,
Okay.
and it's Playing with Time again. So this one is more, well, I'll just sort of say it sort of revolves like around reincarnation a little bit and what happens in each life. So you talked about the karma and stuff, but it'll play with that a lot. That's my next one. And then Knott's Berry Farm, you know, they do the Knott's Scary
Farm?
and they have a zombie, a new zombie area. They're taking Camp Snoopy and making it into a zombie apocalypse. And when you go there, you get guns, not real guns, but they actually have a kick to
yeah,
them and
yeah.
everything. And you go through and you're protecting people, and then
Wow.
you're chasing zombies. So I'm going to be doing an article on that. We actually got the press passes to go in and
Oh, that's cool.
do it and write about it. So
Right on.
that one seemed really cool.
And that's going to come out in
That'll
what?
probably come out
right before
in
Halloween, I'm assuming.
probably like the beginning of October. And then we're looking at, there's this haunted hike that you can take up to the Hollywood sign. Have you heard of that?
I think I
don't want to
yeah,
go on that. I can't
yeah.
go
You
on
can't
that
go on
one,
that
yeah.
one.
No.
Yeah, but
It
it
sounds like a
they
lot of
talk
fun.
about all the haunted areas of Hollywood, and then you end up the hike in the H in Hollywood where the actress jumped to her death. She was so distraught. So I
She
thought
couldn't
that
get
would
the
be a
part.
really good thing for October as well.
Cool. Cool.
You need to tell, like, if you have a website or anything for the book. Is it just Amazon?
It's on Amazon.com and then BN.com for BarnesandNoble.com. It's on both of those. It's available on both of those, and
Cool.
you can get it in hardback or in ebook in a variety of different formats.
Cool deal. Cool deal.
Really, they have it in hard
Yes,
cover
and
too?
soft.
Oh, okay.
The soft one. But yeah, so it's
All
available
right.
now.
Right on. So I guess
So they
we
when
need to.
when they look it up, they want to type in 27.
27, or even just Jolene Polyack. It's actually got this other business strategy that I guess that somebody's taken something I've written and put it in there, which I didn't know, but it comes up and then my book comes up. So
Well,
kind of
okay.
weird.
That's cool.
Well, what am I doing there? But yeah, this
Right
is
on.
my name, Jolene Polyack.
Okay. What do you do for a living?
I am a marketing consultant. So one of my clients is the city of Kingsburg. I do economic development for them. I go and I bring business into town and try to create jobs for the
Right.
community. Another one of my clients is Cemex, which is a mining company, and I am their local liaison, which is interesting gig.
Did they get the go-ahead to start east of Sanger? Is that
The Jesse Morrow,
No.
the Board of Supervisors voted it down. They had an EIR that costs over $10 million, and from the floor stood this high. It had to be brought in on a dolly because the EIR was so expansive. And one of the supervisors, who I won't name, said she didn't have enough information to make a decision and therefore had to vote no. And
She probably couldn't read.
Don't get me started. But anyhow, it didn't make it. So we're going to end up with a significant aggregate shortage in the area, which will drive up our construction costs. And those same people who fought to not do it are going to be the same ones that are complaining that everything costs too much.
We had the mayor of Sanger.
Josh, yes.
Yeah, he actually was telling us that there's a no growth policy everywhere around here, that everybody has to stay within their own boundaries, no more new business, no more, I mean, and it's coming from like a higher government trickle down to the local government. So all that kind of stuff, they're squashing it.
Well, there's definitely so much regulation in California that it's almost impossible to do business here. It's very difficult.
It is. And with no water, it's making it way more difficult. And
Yeah.
I think it's a conspiracy. I really do.
Yeah.
I think there's a reason why they're cutting the water out and they're getting rid of us. So, all right, that's it for us, you guys. I appreciate you guys all tuning in. Thank you, Jolene,
Bye,
for
all.
coming in,
Thank
and
you.
and
Gonna
Robert.
Say bye to the camera.
And-
Bye, camera.
So, all right, you guys, we'll see you. Oh, next week we have David Politis.
Yes.
David Politis is next week. Missing 411. We got the books. We're going to be
Oh,
talking.
I love his books.
Oh.
They're so scary.
Oh, it's going to be a good show
You've
next
been
week. We'll see you next
listening
week, guys.
to
Take care.
Paranormal Central
David Politis
with
next week.
Jeffrey Gonzalez and Allen Thomas, broadcasting worldwide at paranormalcentral.net and on artbell.com. Stay tuned for next time. Remember to keep your eyes to the skies, and we hope you witness something you cannot explain.
Looking for you, you're looking for me. We have to decide.